All right. So I just had a thought come to me, a couple of them. A thought that I had earlier today. I was like, oh, it came back. That's for a reason. So in my world, in my reality, which is what I choose to live in, I'm not sure what everybody else chooses to live in, but I choose to live in my own. I find it to be peaceful there. I find it to be, you know, at a place of understanding, of hope and belief and understanding that there's a greater purpose. It's greater than me. It's greater than you. And I'm just along for the ride. I'm along for the wave. I'm riding the wave. So I don't ever feel like I have per se enemies or ops or haters or whatever the case may be, whatever people label themselves as, right? Because there's a lot of labels out there. Do I pick up on things? Yeah, I do. Right? But I also understand the big picture of understanding that, like, people don't understand we're in this boat together. Like, they are using you just the same as they're using me. Like, and this brings me up to Candace in reference to her talking to TPUSA and questioning the video, and why Andrew Kovad, and they're going through another Twitter account to respond to the questions. This is what they do. It's flying monkeys. It's flying monkeys to avoid anything coming from their mouths so they can be held accountable in a lie, right? This is what they do. Believe me, this is what they do. They send flying monkeys, or they use people to do their dirty work. This is what they do. I hate to be the one to break it to you, but you're just on the food chain like I am. We're all on the same food chain. I mean, I hope and pray more people wake up to it. And that's just like, we're all in the same boat. I see that so evidently, right? And so when I walk out my front door and I walk through these circumstances, the illusions and things of that nature, it's like, I know they're just being used in different ways, the way that I've been used, right? I'm not being used no more because I have full control, in reference to myself, my beliefs, my hope, my faith, my understanding, my morals, my values, my integrity, my truth. There's that factor too. And so I understand the big picture, right? We have to quit thinking that we're going against each other because we're all being used on a puzzle piece, or we're all pawns in some sort of way, right? I mean, we just are all the way up to the tippity top, quite frankly. Quite frankly, you can clearly see that evidently. So there's that venture of it. There's that nugget. There's another nugget that had come to me. And realizing that when it comes to your day-to-day activities, like, I think so often enough we get lost in our emotions. I do the same. I get really sad. When I get really sad, I pray. I have my little Jesuses. I have one here and I have one on my desk at work. Like, I get really sad when I pick up on things. It makes me sad. Just because I prefer different, obviously. I mean, obviously I prefer different for myself, and I prefer different for others, right? Because I recognize you're getting used. I've been used. And it doesn't end well to be on the using factor. I mean, it doesn't end well for someone being used. No matter how you fall in the category of being used, it's not a good time. I don't want anybody to be used. I've been through that, so why would I want that for other people? When I see that other people are being used against their will in certain things, and the system being used against them to make them do things that they don't want to do, absolutely. Absolutely. It goes all the way up the chain. That's why we have so much deception and corruption within this world, because people dangle the bait, pull a switch. They have control of the power. They have control of the money. And so some people think money makes the world turn. And so it's one of those things. And when you're not somebody that operates in that, they dang sure not going to give you what you, especially not the money they make off of you. That's for sure. Because they know what you would do with it. 100%. And so that's another aspect of it. Like, Before, it used to bother me when I pick up on things with people siphoning my energy, stealing my story, vibing off me, taking my thing. It used to bother me because I could pick up on it 100%. 100%. I'm like, bro, girl, come on. Be who you are. Be who you are. You ain't got to ride the coattails of nobody. Nobody. But then, walking through that healing venture that I choose to walk through, I understand that, if people are interested or not quite at a place in their walk, and it's easier for them to, take things here and there, steal people's aura, their story, this and that, maybe they need it more. Maybe they need it more. Maybe you inspire them. Maybe you were here to inspire people, and that's why you have people doing whatever it is they're doing. So allow them to do that, and you continue being who you are, right? There's a little bug right here. And so it's one of those things. It's just something that I've kind of worked through in the last few years, because it was really hard for me, because I definitely see it. It's pretty evident. But I feel as though like, oh, okay, that's all right. If they need that, I want them to have that. If they need the money, I want them to have that too. I don't need those things. By the grace of God, I do not. I do not at all. By the grace of God, I feel complete and whole. I do indeed. I think when you've lived in a world where you didn't even know what wholeness felt like, and finally for once in your life you feel that, ain't nothing gonna take that away from you. Nothing. And I guess to get to that place, you have to walk through your dark shadows and see things within yourself you have to change, because there's always things within yourself you have to change. Every single one of us. There's things within myself I'm working on. And just depurpose, and understanding how big it is. And, this is another thing that came to me. I was telling my son on the way home, I was like, it's so funny. Whenever I leave work and stuff like that, or certain things, like, I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to see, like, I ain't giving up. I am not giving up. I am in it for the long haul. I'm in it for the long haul. They're going to have to put 2 and 2 together. They're going to have to do whatever they're going to have to do. Like, I can keep riding this train as long as till God takes me upstairs. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, I'm going to keep being me. I'm going to keep spreading what I'm spreading. And I'm going to keep advocating the way that I do. And that be that, I think that's what we're all designed to do, right? Is not give up and be the best version of ourselves tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and you fall short and you're this and you're that. And then the next day comes and you do better. You do better. And then the next day comes and you do better. And then when you have those moments within your day, you have moments within your whatever, family scenarios, business, whatever, you're like, ooh, I didn't really like that version of me. I want to change that. Change it. And it's just one of those things. It helps you elevate in the long run. It really does. But don't allow the world to make you feel less than what you are. All of us have a designed purpose. Every single one of us. Ain't nobody bigger than anybody else. Money's just status quo is just an illusion. It really truly is. It's what's in here. It's what's in here that matters. At the end of the day, when you go on to your next life, do you think God's going to be like, how much money you got? How much money you got? How many houses you got? How many cars do you got? All right, you're good. You can go into heaven. Go ahead. Do you think that's how the conversation is going to go? And again, let's take that away. Say you don't believe in God. Say you don't believe in the Holy Spirit. You don't believe in Jesus. All right, cool. So then here you are, this life, and you're chasing something. You get it, and it's still not good enough. And then you're going to chase some more. When are you going to find that happiness you're looking for? When? You can keep chasing. Because you're looking for things outside of you when the happiness resides inside of you. And it's just one of those things. Either you wake up to it or you don't. It's up to you. You got free will. You have free choice. And you have the consciousness that resides inside of you. And it's up to you whether you tap into it. It is. It's completely up to you. It's completely up to you. I love you guys. Have a good night. Sweet dreams.